Welcome to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey, and back again for another week, clapping them cheeks, the best producer in the whole wide world, Mr. Ozark Mark. Hey, Mr. Ozark, how are we feeling, buddy? It's like December, and I know the movie we're talking about today, well, I know you kind of like it. I know it fucked you up when it fucked me and you up when we were younger. I just want to hear some input here, buddy. I'm excited for you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. That's right. We are in knee deep now, starting to get into the ocean here to the Wildcard season. And yes, this is a great episode we got for you today. Okay. We are talking about probably my favorite horror movie of all time. This is the one that I'm going to recommend to you if you ask me what my favorite horror movie is. This is, usually say the title of the movie.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah.
The Fourth Kind, baby.
The Fourth Kind.
You know what, Ozark? Here's the thing about this movie. Before we get into the synopsis, I would like to say, almost further so than what the intro said, but I think because this movie is like really critically, there are a lot of critics didn't like it and they kind of roasted it. But then the hard part about movies is a lot of those movie sites like Rotten Tomatoes, all these things, some of these critics have they're allowed to continue to vote on the movies throughout the years. And that just takes away from it because this very much was a movie that is a victim of its time. But when it came out, it was a motherfucker, dude. It rocked grown people. It rocked a lot of people.
This is, yeah, that's why, dude, this is the only movie that probably fucked me up in my adult life. Now, it's different to say. When you're younger, sure, you can think of a lot of movies that fucked you up because you're younger. Before you was a grown man or grown woman, before you hit 18, before you could drive, really. Movies technically to fuck you up before that. But this fucked me up when I was like, 19?
Yeah.
18 or 19 years old.
Another thing, too, this movie could be called The Fourth Wall. There are very few movies in history that, break the fourth wall or try to, cross over to that and try to actually say, hey, this is for real. Obviously, The Blair Witch is a great example of that. A lot of the found footage movies are. But in that same regard, it was that way. When it came out, it was very much presented as this was based off of a true story. And I took the bait the first time I saw it. I'm not saying if I believed every bit of the footage, but I believed it was like a real-ass story. But there was no doctor. It just was all made up, and they had me. I was like, I'm not going to Alaska.
No, they did.
I don't like owls.
I still won't go to Alaska because if somebody says you're going to Alaska, don't go there. Aliens abduct you in Alaska.
Yeah.
Fuck Alaska. But no, that's the beauty of this. That's why this is my number one go-to if somebody asks me, hey, if they want to watch a scary movie, and if I ask them, have you ever seen The Fourth Kind? And if they say, what's that? Or no,
yeah, man.
You can play it off, and you'd be like, well, this is the only movie that fucked me up, and it's based on a true story, and there's real footage in it. That's what you tell them. Mm-hmm. And they fuck you up. Before you get into your synopsis, we'll talk about the opening scene of the movie. It comes out, the actress who plays the doctor,
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, she comes out, and she's breaking the fourth wall, and she tells you, she's like, what you're about to see is based on the so-and-so of Dr. Abigail Taylor. What you're about to see is actual footage. See, they don't say real footage. That's the key. They say actual footage.
Yeah.
So that is very loosely.
It's like when they do those reenactment things on the History Channel or whatever. So you know what you're getting into, and I still watch the fuck out of those things. Yeah. It's like you're not.
But that's the genius and the key of what they said. They say this is actual footage. Now think about that. Actual footage compared to real footage. When you say that, actual footage. Open up your phone, look on TikTok. That's all actual footage. Yeah, anything behind a camera is actual footage. So, throughout the movie, of course, before you get in, you'll get into the synopsis for people who've never seen it before. So I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but That's where they did it, actual audio. Yes, it was actual recorded audio that they did. Actual. Somebody recorded that. Yes. But that's when they fucked you up. And that's what fucked me up too. I was really fucking stoned.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of the night when you showed me this, and I'm like, what the fuck? Bro.
Yeah, man.
God.
So, before we get into the synopsis on The Fourth Kind, I would like to tell you, boys and girls, we thank you so much for being a part of this show with us. And if you've noticed, or if you've been here more than once, you notice we don't have advertisements on this show. I mean, we're not against it if it was something that maybe worked for us, but we'll be quite truthful. We don't want to water down our show with nickel and dime advertisements. So
Unless it's combos.
Yeah, right. But
Slim Jims.
Yeah, Slim Jims would be cool. Look, but in that regard, what we do is we put out bonus content for you boys and girls on patreon.com. So for less than a cup of coffee a month, you can support Ozark, Mark, and I and help us out. And then you get like 4 extra episodes a month. Now, we did take a little break on this show and the Patreon for like a month, but that generally, you know, at the end of a season, maybe we take a little break, but we always continue. We will never stop as long as our heart's beating.
And you know what? If you're wondering why we were gone, we explain everything on the Patreon. Because if you're a patron, you're part of the show. You're right here with us. It's like you're down here with us and you see into our personal lives.
Yes, we were hunting bears.
Yes.
Accident happened.
We won't go into that. But anyway, explain to me or somebody who hasn't seen The Fourth Kind a synopsis of what this movie is.
So, a family leaves for vacation around Christmas time, but they leave their son at home. All right. And what's crazy is they could just call the police, or he could call the police, but I don't know. Robbers try to get him. It's a pretty intense movie. We're just kidding. That was the false synopsis. That was Home Alone. I got mixed up. We're talking about The Fourth Kind. The Fourth Kind. Here's what's going on, baby. As Ozark Mark alluded to, at the beginning of the movie, they let you know, like, hey, there are some reenactments, and then there's some actual footage. Actual footage of movie footage? Yeah, well, anyways, they disguise it. They try to, you know, they're very smart with their words. But the rundown of what's happening is these people live in Alaska. It's a small town called Nome. And there's a psychiatrist there named Dr. Abigail Taylor. And her husband was like murdered a year before. Like when they were sleeping, somebody came in, an intruder, and she just can't deal with it because she doesn't know who did it. And it was like a big, she's grieving, right? But she's like a sleep hypnosis therapist. She's one of those people that put people down and then try to get them to talk while they're sleeping so they can work through their problems.
Yeah, see, I never understood that because they make it look so easy. They make it look like anybody can do hypnosis.
Yeah, and
all
they
you do is
say
sit there
they don't.
Yeah.
They say some people can't do it. Like, you know, like most people, I don't think can.
I don't
But
know.
there are
Maybe it's
selects
the
who
tone
can.
that you use. I don't get it because anybody can just sit there and say 10, 9, you're getting sleepier, 7. That was fucking simple. You know, there's something more to it than that. There has to be. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Please continue. I just had to put that out there.
Yeah, it is strange. So, what's going on is all of her patients within this small town start coming to her and saying, hey, I'm starting to see an owl in the middle of the night. And it's getting weird. I'm just having these crazy dreams, or just something's unsettling. I don't feel right, but I'm seeing this owl in the middle of the night, and I feel like it's getting in my house. I don't know. I'm just having problems. But, like, all these people, not all of them are friends. They don't all know each other. But they're all telling the psychiatrist the same fucking thing in separate sessions, like they're private sessions. So the psychiatrist, she's like, what the fuck is going on? Everybody's telling me the same story. So she starts to investigate more and more. Turns out that this owl is motherfucking aliens. Leads to aliens. These people are having aliens come and they're getting abducted. They're doing weird stuff, maybe butt stuff. You know, maybe that'd probably be more fun than actually what aliens were actually fucking doing, bro. Aliens, I want no part of that. And there's video recordings and like some like video recordings. And I tell you, there's some really creepy, I would say the voices are creepier than the footage that you see, because the footage is usually always distorted. It's like somebody will be recording and then the aliens come in and the fucking video gets all distorted. But the noises like their language.
Yeah, it's very terrifying.
Yeah, it's
Like
creepy.
if you heard that in the middle of the forest or anywhere in the dark, you'd be fucking freaked out.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? You remember like in Galaxy Quest, the noises that those guys made, but like scarier,
Yeah.
like scarier,
Yeah.
like sounded like their language.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. I like Galaxy Quest.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But we're not here to talk about Tim Allen. We're here to talk about motherfucking aliens. Have we done a movie regarding aliens yet?
Fourth kind. I don't think so.
Oh, maybe The Faculty. Or
The faculty's aliens.
The Faculty.
The faculty. But yes, that's the key. That's one of the things they did so well is to fuck you up, is because the reenactments are dead on or close to what is happening in their actual footage. Okay. But you think about it, it's genius because, both of them are acting. So it's easy to sync them up. And that's what fucked me up the first time. Because I'm watching the actual footage and I'm like, oh shit, like they're doing the same thing. Like, oh shit, like, he actually freaked out and he actually kicked over the thing and he actually puked just like they're doing in the reenactments.
2009 was like right pre-smartphone.
Yeah.
Nobody really had smartphone in 2009.
No.
Like, I would say smartphones really got prevalent around 2011 and 12.
Yeah.
Maybe if you were balling, you had 1 in 10. Like, but they just weren't that. I don't know. They weren't that fucking prevalent.
No, and not everybody questions everything and thinks everything's fake, because everything's fake now.
Yeah.
All kinds of footage is fake. Like back then, that's why it was like right at the peak before. It was like the last found footage, actual footage movie that could have made it before it all peaked over.
I think that was the year. I mean, for fucking Paranormal Activity too. They like those as well. I don't hate Paranormal Activity. I respect what it did 100%. But Blair Witch is so close to my heart that will forever like be my found footage movie for the most part.
Yeah.
But
Blair Witch above all, but
no, like it's separate from The Fourth Kind, because I wouldn't even almost put this in found footage. This is kind of like it's like a pseudo documentary or like a mockumentary kind of deal. It's just interesting.
Yeah, because I can't really put my finger on it and exactly how they did it.
Yeah,
because it's
but that's what kind of makes it cool. It's almost like a show that you would watch like on the History Channel, or that would be on cable, where you're like, it tells about or you remember like how they used to do like America's Most Wanted and shit, and they would like reenact the scenes, and it would be like not the best acting, but not the worst acting, but just enough for you to be like, oh shit, what's going on?
Well, they even did, like, the thing I loved most about it is they had the supposedly actual Dr. Abigail Taylor, like, sitting there in a room with cheap footage with some community college guy interviewing her or something. It looks something that,
It looked real at that time frame.
Yeah, it did look real, and they made her look all fucked up, and like face was longer and shit. Like she just got abducted. Like they did everything to make you think like, it got you. It could get you, and I'm telling you, I realized this because in the movie, pretty sure, I think you said it in the intro. She explains the three kinds. Like the first kind is this, the second kind is that, the third kind is contact, but the fourth kind is when you're fucked in alien abductions. And I kind of thought about that. I was like, there's four kinds to watch in this movie too. The first time is the best time, because that's when it's going to make you think that all this shit's real and it's going to fuck you up. The second time, then you're going to look at it because you Google searched it after you watched it to make sure that's not a real story. Because everybody did.
Yeah.
So then the third time is you're showing it to somebody else, telling them the same thing and watching their reaction to it. And that's enjoyable. And then the fourth kind, then you start to appreciate everything that they did and thinking how they made it. Like, so they had to shoot every scene basically twice.
Yeah.
Between that, they had to shoot the therapy sessions twice with 2 sets of different actors, 2 sets of that. And had to sync them up correctly to make it look like they synced up. Fucking crazy the way you make it. You know what I mean? That's a lot of thought. Like, who thinks of how to make a movie like that? That's why it's so remarkable to me, and it's one of my favorites.
Rosarkable.
Yeah, Rosarkable. It's Rosarkable, baby.
I like that. I'm kind of upset they didn't mention the fifth kind when you fucking alien.
Yeah. What part, I won't say your favorite part, I'm going to say what part of this movie fucked you up the most, because it fucked both of us up.
Okay. So when they put down the, because they put down a bunch of different guys. I forget the guy's name, but he's the thinner guy, the guy that falls asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
And they put him under, and what he does is he's starting to fall asleep, and he's like, no, I wasn't even thinking of them today. I wasn't even thinking of them. That, like, really fucked me up, because it's like, dude, like, if you think of them, they come after you, like, kind of deal. Or, like, you know, it's like you can feel their presence coming after you. I did not like that part. Like, that kind of fucked me up psychologically, because he's like, I've been trying not even to think about him, and now it's here. It's like, oh, dude, like.
Those therapy sessions are intense. Now what's your favorite part?
It is pretty funny when the other guy's on the couch and he's like, he just fucking freaks out. Because the one guy acting was like, no. Like, it was very funny.
He just knocks over the plant.
Yeah. It was like
it takes like 4 times to watch it before you laugh at it, but yeah.
What about you, Ozark? What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is probably it's the scene where they're doing the cops dash cam footage of one of the patients. He's the first guy to go under hypnosis, and then he like relives his abduction, and then he wakes up freaking out. So then he goes home, and then Dr. Tyler gets a call in the middle of the night, and it's the police guy saying, hey, I got a man with a gun to his family. I need you to get over here. He's asking for you. So she gets over there, and the whole thing, she pulls up. You start out with the dash cam footage of the actual footage, and then it cuts in between, and then you get like 4 scenes. Like you get an actual footage square up here, acting down here, and they're simultaneously.
Yeah, like the quad thing. Yep.
Yeah, and then he murders his whole family and commits suicide. It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. And then the guy that's playing that sheriff is Will Patton. I mean, there's some decent actors in this.
He remembered the Titans for sure.
I like the other guy, the other psychiatrist guy. That guy's been in a lot of shit, but...
Yeah, I forget his name off the top of my head.
Yeah,
But the part that fucked me up the most when I first watched this movie was it's that same guy who you were talking about, but when he was in bed... And he starts freaking out, and then they put him under again, and then he reads through, but he starts levitating on the bed.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah, it looked real because I thought it was real footage at first. I was like, this motherfucker's levitating.
I'm telling you how, I told you how I did this with our buddy Juice. I watched this that first night, and then the next night I went to the bar with him, and I came home, and I said, hey, man, you got to check out this movie. Freaked me out. And I put it on, but since I had already watched it, like, the shock of it wore off, and I passed out. And, like, I wasn't trying to fall asleep, you know that, like, when you're trying to fight sleep? And, like, I kind of wake up, like, 45 minutes later, and I look up, and he's, like, smoking a cigarette, damn near sweating, like, fuck this movie, dude. I was like, I was like, my bad, buddy.
Yeah, I watched it with my ex-wife.
Oh.
Now, and then I showed it to her, and I told her that all the footage was real and all that shit.
Yeah, dude.
She wouldn't get up to go to the bathroom by herself, and it was literally 5 feet away on the ensuite.
I'm not fucking with aliens, buddy.
No, and that's the thing. That's what makes it believable again, because it's fucking aliens. Now, if you don't believe in aliens, you're ignorant as fuck. I'm sorry. There's some life form out there, and it might not be that. But there's some other form of living thing beyond our little rock.
So don't worry. If you've been wanting that fifth kind, it's coming. You're going to be banging aliens soon. Trust me, buddy. Or robots.
Look, if aliens came by and they were pretty good looking and they just wanted to bang.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
What's the deal?
What is the problem?
It's aliens.
I know.
Remember Mars Attacks? That was a fun alien movie. We're gonna have to cover that one
We
time.
do. That's a horror movie, right?
I mean, it dances on the line. There's a lot of it freaks some kids out. It's like horror comedy.
Yeah. We cover those too. We've been doing that before.
It's been in our repertoire.
Yeah. Do you ever look at owls the same now after watching this?
I already didn't like birds that much, so no.
Dude, there's a scene where they just follow this owl, and it's one of those creepy owls with the long noses and the big black eyes, like the creepy looking fucking owls. Like you see those owls, and you're like, those are fucking creepy owls. You know what owls I'm talking about?
Yeah, they're like stoic as shit. But
Yeah,
they're just.
But it's just following, like doing like a complete 360 around, following the camera.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
But the
one
little
bit.
cute owls, though, I'll fuck with a little cute owl.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
cool. Like, they're running around and shit. They're funny. Owls are funny.
They're silent when they fly.
Ooh. Huh?
Yeah. I saw this cool ass thing. It was like this. I don't know if it was on Reddit or where I was, maybe YouTube, but they like lined up a couple different birds and they like tested the sounds of their flying. And then like when a pigeon would fly, he would do the whoo, you know, like that little noise, the whoo, you know, like the fuck. I mean, it literally. Yeah. And then they would do the, you know, you'd hear their wings.
Yeah.
And then it would have other birds, but then when it does like the owl, it's just silent.
Dude.
It's fucking creepy, dude. I saw some videos too, like one where there was like a nest at nighttime in a tree. It's like a little baby bird, and this fucking owl just came in. Like you didn't see it till it was there. It was like a fucking vampire in the Lost Boys, dude. Just like, you know, like
if
you're gone.
If I had a lot of money and didn't have a job, I would get an owl to sit on my shoulder like a parrot and train him just to agree with me everywhere I went.
Yeah, like
Just be like, man, this is bullshit. Ain't that right, Mr. Owl? Ooh. Ooh.
dude, they're majestic looking, but yes, now they are scary.
They are very
forever
scary.
now.
They're very scary, and they keep you up at night.
I don't get how people didn't think, like, I don't know, man. I really think it's to that. I think the people who didn't really like this movie might have saw it too late. I mean, maybe some people saw this in 2009 and hated it, but I think if you saw it in like 2019, maybe you saw this and said like, eh.
Well, that's the thing. It's a different mind, but the people who I'd show this to are the people that get scared easily and people that are really gullible. Everybody knows people that are gullible. You can tell them anything and they believe anything, or mostly what you say. You can convince somebody who has never seen this movie to tell them that it's actual footage in it. Actual footage. That'll fuck them up.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't know the difference.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's actual footage in it. You could even say it like they do. There's actual footage in it. And they will get sucked into it if they pay attention.
I think so, too. Because there is big enough actors in there where it is believable. And since they go on the... Since they, like, preface saying, hey, this is a reenactment, you're like, oh, well, this is a reenactment. Like, I don't know. You know what you're signing up for. But now looking back, I really look at this movie. It's almost becoming a comfort movie for me just because it reminds me of a time when we were young. You know, I remember watching this with the boys, and this fucked everybody up. And then there's a lot of people I talk to this day. Like you say, you know, the fourth kind, they're like, fuck that movie, dude. You're like, yeah, man. Some shit, dude.
It's one of those gems, dude, because, I mean, the older you get, nothing really fucks you up anymore. So you hold on to that nostalgia of what that movie did to you.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at my buddy, like, dripping sweat, smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, it's all right, man. You can stay at our house tonight. The same friend, mind you, slept at our house one time, and a cat got into the basement ceiling tiles, and like we're house cat sitting, I guess you would say, for one of our friends. And this cat stayed in the fucking basement, and he got in the ceiling tiles. But our buddy spent the night, and he was on the main floor. Well, I guess that cat was fucking meowing all night, but like it sounded like kind of like creepy. And my buddy said, I thought there was a baby on your porch, and I couldn't sleep, so I just sat up, and I wasn't opening the door. I wasn't fucking with it, dude. And then I laughed so hard because I was like, can you imagine someone frozen in fear for hours just like,
not knowing what to
please
do.
stop, baby.
Oh my god.
I was like, damn, dude. So that's the same person, like the fourth kind I showed to.
A baby outside your window.
Yeah, dude. That same dude he told me back in like 2007 and 8, somewhere around there, he was like, sometimes I go home after we're done smoking and I put on ghost videos and I creep myself out and I gotta turn them off and I run to bed.
Everybody's done that. I'm a victim of that too. Like,
it was the way he said it. He just said it so funny.
yeah, because there used to be, like, back when we were young, around that time too, there was a lot of those stupid ghost videos on YouTube. Now they're just cheesy.
Yeah, well, now we were so gullible, but you remember that one where the girl's looking in the mirror and then the mirror turned, like in the little Asian girl? That one fucked everybody
But it
up.
still
Like,
fucks people up
you're
today,
like,
man.
hey, hey, now.
But that's the thing. That's what made it most believable, because the camera person was steady on it. Like, no, if that happened, if that for real happened, the camera person would not be that calm.
There's a few moments in alien like movie history that are super freaky. All right, you got the chest burster scene going on in Alien. Okay, you've got the birthday party scene from Signs where the little green guy walks by and everybody's like, oh, like for the first time. That fucked everybody up too. You gotta give him that. All right, that got people.
Yep.
Faculty was pretty good. I don't know what scene in particular. This is right there with that too. All right, the fourth kind's right there with it too. It definitely belongs in like the creepy alien movies. If somebody was gonna say, "Hey, throw me a good alien movie," if they've seen this one, obviously, you know, it'd be harder to throw a good pick because you got to go higher and higher because there are a lot of shitty alien movies.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to go wrong with science fiction movies, or like you have to really sell it. You got to be all the way in.
Well, and that's another thing they do is they bring in, like, she looks for help on this book to this like ancient aliens doctor guy. It's a doctor from Africa, I'm pretty sure, or Egypt, whatever it is, but he's got that voice. You know, like, why is it somebody who doesn't have an American accent, we automatically think they're smarter and believe every word they fucking say?
Yes.
Like my name is Dr. Briggs.
No.
Like, I can tell you everything about this. Everything I'm about to explain to you is in a museum. It's an ancient language. Like, all that. Like, I instantly believe that guy. But they actually used footage of artifacts in a fucking museum that this guy is explaining, and it's like pieces of things with ancient sculptures with rockets on it and shit and all this. You're like, fucking aliens, dude. Like, they were back here. It's like, this is a language that dates back 5,000 years before Christ walked the earth. What? And that's real stuff. That's actual stuff in a museum. Like, watch the show Ancient Aliens. Like, it's all there. They just fucking get your belief right back into the movie halfway through it with that.
At that time frame, too, conspiracies were so big. Like 2009, conspiracies, and then, I don't know, this movie was, it came out literally at the perfect time. It came out at the perfect time. And it's weird to think that it's as old as it is now, because it still doesn't feel that way. We're getting old.
Yeah.
We're getting old, but...
What is this? It's a 12-year-old movie?
Mm-hmm.
No.
13?
Yeah, 13-year-old movie.
13 years old.
That's a long time.
It's older than my son. He's 12.
He almost made it.
Damn it!
If she would have banged a year earlier...
We would have, yeah. He could have been a fourth kind baby.
That would have made that sentence a lot more relevant. But unfortunately, it did not.
No fifth kind.
I want to know more things about this movie, though.
All right.
Boo. Welcome to the What Do You Know here. This is the segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie, The Fourth Kind, 2009. What was that? Oh, your glass. All right, you interrupted my what do you know here. So, if this is your first time here, I'm going to tell you how it's going to go.
Tell us.
We're going to tell you we know, yeah. I fucked it up. It's fine. You guys know what the what do you know is. I don't have to fucking explain it to you. If you don't know, you're about to fucking find out, so get over it. Now, why don't me? No, not me. You over there. Tell me something that you may or may not know about this movie, The Fourth Kind.
Looky.
I'm looking.
As we alluded to, Dr. Abigail Taylor is not a real person.
No, she made up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But in the credits, people are smart. So, you know, if you put that there was an actress, people would say, hey, well, that's not real.
Yeah.
So in the credits, it says she plays herself, right?
Yeah.
But the actress's name is, what's her name? Charlotte Mildred?
Yeah.
It's not next to Abigail Taylor, but if you go down into Nome Residence, her name is in there. So it's in the end credits. It's just not right there at the top. So it's there.
So they did a little switcheroo, and they actually did. It's like a legal thing.
Toasty! Right there.
They got away with it.
You know,
They worked around the lines there.
they bent the truth.
But it's still the truth.
It works.
It's like a crazy straw.
I
It's
didn't
all over
see-
the place.
I didn't see anything.
No, I saw nothing.
So,
That's a good fact.
what about you? You got some facts for us?
Yeah, I
down
got a fact for you.
there? Okay.
To tell you the truth, there's not a lot of good facts about this movie.
Well, they tried to keep everything all buttoned up.
Yeah. Buttoned up. Like a penis in winter.
Button it up.
Yeah. So, I'm going to tell you something here. So, you know, in the movie, half of the movie is an interview between Dr. Abigail Taylor and some guy. Right?
That's who it is.
Yeah.
When you said button it up like your penis, you know what I thought about?
What?
This guy at my work, he told me, this old guy I used to work with, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not working with much. It's like a button on a fur coat anymore. I said, what? He said, yeah, down there. It's like a button on a fur coat. What the fuck you think about it?
My boy needs to get some rhino pills or something.
Well, he was old. You know,
Yeah.
he was like 50s, and he was like a chubbier guy, married.
Yeah, it's over with. Just give it up. Anyway,
But
as
no,
I was
but
saying before you interrupted my fact, thank you. The interviewer is some guy. We never know his name. Or they probably tell it to you. I just forget because he's irrelevant. He's just an interviewer.
Just a guy.
Yeah, that's the director of the film. That black guy who's interviewing Dr. Abigail Taylor.
Talk about a cameo.
Yeah, you know what his name is?
What?
I don't fucking know either, but I'm gonna take a guess.
A lot of vowels in there.
It's Alatunud Also Sanami. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah,
Do you think people called him Salami in grade school?
they probably did. Tommy Salami.
If he ever played football, he would be called Salami.
No big deal.
Mr. Origami.
Tommy Salami.
That's my fact.
You got a bunch of more?
No,
Alright.
I only had one.
Alright.
I thought it was a pretty good one though.
I did too. I like these facts.
It was pretty good facts for your race.
Look at that there.
Well, that's good, you know,
a little bit more.
only 2 is all you need. 2 is all you need for your ass to get it going.
It's a little bit more than 0, and that's definitely more than 1.
Everything's more than 0.
That's right. I mean, yeah. Yeah, you do have points. You do have make valid points. It'll come back to you.
All right. So, that's all the facts we know. So we're going to fucking leave now.
Let's just suppose, just for a moment, let's just think here, okay? You wake up Christmas morning, okay? You think maybe Santa Claus is on your roof. It's not fucking Santa, it's aliens. What do, Mark? You coming out with a gun? You gonna try your luck with a gun? You gonna try Jesus? You gonna try all of the above? Or you gonna try signs? You gonna try throwing water at it? I don't know even know how you'd react. You might just not even do anything. You might be like, yo, what is going on?
It's time to run at that point.
Okay.
That's the only chance that you got.
So
is to run.
If you experience the third kind, you're
yeah,
out.
Fucking run. Run. Oh yeah. I ain't getting to the fourth kind now. Okay. I am moving to a heavily populated fucking area. First of all, your first mistake is living in a town that you can't drive to.
Yeah.
You have to fly into that town. You can't get there by car. You have to fly into that town. That's your first no right fucking there. Hell no.
Bad idea.
Bad fucking idea. Has anybody in Nome, Alaska ever seen a horror movie? If you're from Nome, Alaska, how are you still there? I'm just asking.
Yep.
How do you get internet? I don't know what the hell's going on with you, but no. No. You fucking run. You get the fuck out of there. I would get in a heavily populated area, or I would go underground. I would live in an underground city somewhere. I would find one. Maybe I'd live in a subway. I don't know.
You just live in like a skyrise apartment.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, we're good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You get away from that. You get away from people can see you, because the aliens, they don't want people to see them. They don't want them to know they exist.
So
they go to Alaska to do their little experiments. Do you ever think, like, all the alien theories, do you think we're just a reality show for aliens?
We could be. I think we have purpose, Ozark Mark. I think we do, all right? But I'm not going to lie to you. It is really freaky to think about. Anything with space, the longer you think about it, just makes your brain hurt because space is real. And like you said earlier, if you think long enough, with all the billions of galaxies out there, it'd be pretty dumb to think that there isn't any kind of life form out there. Now, what it is, we don't know, but it could be. We're not talking about a maybe, we're talking about it for sure. So you're talking about if something can make its way to us, they clearly have more technology than we do because we can't make it to them.
No, we can't make it. We could barely make it to the moon.
That's what I'm saying. So if they can make it to us, we're fucked.
Oh, yeah. First of all, if any life form can make it to us that's not of this world, you're not winning that battle.
Nah.
You are not winning that battle. We are primitive. We got fucking sticks, and they got fucking teleportation machine vapor guns or whatever the fuck. They got a whole circuit board with just buttons that just light. There's no labels on them. They know exactly where everything is. You are not going to beat aliens.
They come and molest your body in the middle of the night. You can't even do anything.
No.
You just got to take it. It's their body now.
Oh, no.
They own your ass.
You think if you got probed, though, you think you would wake up and feel something.
Like that?
Like, why is my asshole 3 times the size?
Look, alien.
Why does it hurt? Why does it feel like I got indigestional problems?
You're just up at... You start to fuck with the alien. Like, look here, alien. I'm not doing this with you anymore, okay? So, you got to start fucking around. You start wearing, like, all kinds of pants and shit. You're wearing, like, spandex and then, like, sweatpants with jeans on and then, like, a snowsuit. And you're like, you ain't get me. Not tonight, motherfucker.
No, you ain't get me. I filled every orifice of my body with wacky glue.
Yeah. Motherfucker, I got 27 layers on.
You ain't gonna get me.
Mm-mm.
Just live in a bubble.
Yeah.
Bubble boy.
That would be my thing. I would try to board up. I would try to do my best to see if I can beat it.
No, you can't. Because remember they stole her daughter through the roof. She went through the roof, through their beam. Their beam came down, broke apart the molecules and the zions or whatever the fuck makes up the shingles in the wood. All those molecules cut right through them. Like, went right through them. And took her little blind daughter away.
She didn't see that coming. Not messed up, but funny.
Well, if we haven't got canceled yet, this might be the episode.
Well, she's not really blind. She
No.
can see in real life.
She was acting like she was blind.
Yeah, so if anybody's rude, it's her.
She's a fucking liar.
Big fat phony. She's just a pretender. Don't let her lie to you.
Just a pretender. Okay. So, speaking of beams and breaking down molecules, let's break down the molecules on your screen or your ears, depending on how you're doing, and go through the portal to the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Sloppy Horror rating, baby, yeah! I think it's because the noise it makes. Welcome to the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. This is the segment of the show where your horror movie companion, everybody's favorite scary movie intellectual being over there, Mr. Christian Ramey, is going to rate a horror movie based on the 100% foolproof Sloppy Horror Podcast rating system. Okay, now how this is going to go, it's based on 4 categories. 3 of the categories are worth 3 points. Last category's worth 1 point for a total of
10 points altogether.
That is fucking correct.
Look, we can add. We can count.
Yeah. As long as it's the 10. So let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
I feel like we're right at like a 1.5 right here. You know, like right at a 1.5. You got some decent actors, some recognizable faces. Not everybody is recognizable, but for the fact that some of it is intentionally meant to look shitty, as far as like it just requires less acting in that. It's kind of like a web episode of something. So I'm feeling like right at 1.5. It's not a 1. It's not shitty, but 1.5. Just convincing enough, right in the middle of the road, but good. Fair acting.
It's an average casting score. Good.
It's fair.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Good.
Nothing's wrong with it, but nothing exceptional.
Well, that's 1.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the second category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is kills.
Let's think about this, Ozark. Do we got like a bunch of kills here?
Well, one man kills his family and himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Not a whole lot of kills going on in this movie, but I feel like that's got to be a 0.
Well, it's 0.5 because there are kills.
Okay, 0.5. Yeah,
It's
are
got
correct.
something. It's got kills and abductions where they leave.
That's true. Oh, and the husband's death. The husband's death.
Yeah, the husband's death, he does get stabbed, but later you find out he just committed suicide and she's crazy, but it does show somebody getting stabbed cinematically, and then you have the guy shooting his family. They don't show him shooting his family, they just show him shooting the gun at his family, but they show him killing himself as well.
That footage, I think, looked the most real out of all the footage, was the footage of him with his family in there. Like, that looked real, dude.
Yeah.
That looked like some real...
That's why it's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Favorite part, because I was like, oh shit, that's what really got... Dude, they just... Holy shit. Like, you didn't see it coming. Like, it comes out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's 0.5 because there is death on screen.
Yeah, I'll give
if
that.
If there is some kind of death on screen, it has to get at least a 0.5. So that is 2 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the final 3-point category here for fear.
I feel like this is screaming a 2. Don't you feel?
Yeah.
It's screaming a 2. I don't feel like it has enough murder or like to be a full sin, but definitely a pretty fucking creepy movie. Like, this is not only just kids. This crosses into adult territory. You're definitely you're working your way up the hill there with that.
It's 50-50. Some people are going to be like, that movie's stupid, and they're not going to believe it whatsoever. And
Yeah.
they'll see right through the bullshit. Some people will get sucked into it and fuck them up. It's 50-50 right down the line there, I think. But 2, yeah. Anybody young is going to be fucked up from this. 100%. Especially if you're naive. It's a 50-50 shot if you're mature and you know what's going on.
Yeah.
So that is 4 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the final 1-point category for half a point each here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is rewatchability.
I'm going to say, yeah. I've watched this a lot of times, and I watched it again, honestly, after not watching it for quite some time. And I enjoyed it. I didn't regret it. I'll definitely throw it back in the mix.
Yeah, I definitely will too. And this is also my favorite, like I said before in the beginning of the show, this is my favorite movie to pick out if I think somebody's gullible, going to believe it, and going to be fucked up from it.
But even if not, like, even like your horror fan, like when we go in watching like a found footage film, like the horror fans know, like, hey, there's a new found footage horror movie out. Like, people aren't like, oh, this really happened? But they're like, no, I love found footage horror movies. Like, that's what they want. They want the guys of that because it pulls them in.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that kind of feeling, or if you really enjoy found footage style movies and haven't seen The Fourth Kind, definitely 100%.
Yes, sir. So that is a total of 5 out of 10 for The Fourth Kind.
Pretty solid.
Solid score.
Yeah.
Solid score for a solid movie there.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with it.
It's right there.
It's right there.
That's
You're
what the
sitting
people
on
need.
it as it goes right up your ass.
Look, guys, there's aliens, and let's be honest, Alaska is not a warm place. So this movie kind of feels like a winter movie, not warm, a winter movie. You know, you got Halloween movies, not like the franchise, but movies for Halloween specific. But then there are movies for after. And I do think this is in there. Now, I know during our rehab season, we pretty much went over a lot of movies to kind of comfort you in that. But this almost could have been sprinkled in there, too. This is a cold movie. I feel like it's a good Sunday movie. You ain't got shit to do in the winter. Throw this bad boy on. It's a fun watch.
Get cozy.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little fondling with whoever you're watching it with.
Suck their titty.
Yeah. But make sure you turn your volume up real loud.
Yeah, so you can hear the aliens go.
Dude, that final one where they do the whole sentence.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's talking about I am God. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like, uh-oh.
Oh, fuck.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Yeah, that would
Her
be...
recording, though, that recording, the first recording that they play,
Mm-hmm.
that's really fucking scary part, too.
That last one of
It's
her
just
where her
scary.
jaw is stretching out and shit, that one's like...
Yeah, I don't like when their jaws are stretched out after they get fucked up in the actual footage ones.
Yeah, you're
That's fucking creepy. Why is a stretched jaw so fucking weird looking, but it's creepy? It doesn't look normal.
I don't know.
Fucks you up.
They did that in The Ring as well when they found him. They're like... You know? Something's not right with them.
Absolutely.
They're broken. Now, folks, if you've been having a fun time, if you've enjoyed this, if you've enjoyed The Fourth Kind, if you've enjoyed the fifth kind, if you'll let me enjoy the sixth kind with your mom, well, why don't you support the show then? Hop over to patreon.com/sloppyhorror. There, you can find all kinds of bonus episodes, and on there, we're not always talking about horror movies. We're just talking about whatever. We're having a good time, and what that does is keep the lights on here in the studio, and it keeps us from having to talk about razors and manscaping products and energy drinks and, you know, all kinds of shit every 3 minutes on the show. So, we love you. We do, and that's why. So, go there. Check it out. Have the seventh kind. I'm going to start calling up pizza places just like, yeah, can I get it the fourth kind? Yeah, let me get the New York pizza, but let me get it the fourth kind. What do you mean? Look, last time I had the fifth kind, I didn't dig it. You know, you just got the fourth kind. It could be the new terminology, a new kind of, you know, it's a new way.
It's a new way. Try it out. You might like it.
Hey, let me get the fourth kind. We only have 3 kinds.
Well, give me the fourth one. Nah, it's fine. Just give me the fourth one. I'll wait.
If we started a music group again, that would be it, the fourth kind. That would be the band name.
Yeah, it really makes your mind race when you hear that. You're like, what the fuck does that mean? It'll fuck you up, sir.
Dude, what do you think the aliens? What do you think they looks like?
What I think the aliens look like?
Yeah.
Kind of like Bowser from Super Mario.
With shells?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Well, I don't know. They look like they look like they have like space helmets on and shit from the ancient sculptures. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude.
Those ancient sculptures are fucking creepy.
That was very well thought out. I liked how they sprinkled in a little bit of the history of it in there too, because it does add to the believability and definitely more convincing when you're like, okay, you're trying to root this in a little normality here. I dig that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we covering next week?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's the wild card season. We don't fucking know. But pay attention to the TikTok, okay? We were a little late on this one, but I promise this one is going to be probably on time.
Yes.
Like it usually is. We're getting back into swing it. Again, make sure you go to listen to the last week's Patreon episode to understand why it's been taking us a little bit longer to get back here for Facts in Your Ass.
Yep.
Okay? Now, with that being said, we love you.
But we gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go now. But it was a great time chatting with you, sitting in here, coming through the speakers of your car, of your boombox in your room. Maybe we're coming through your TV monitor.
Look, here, I got you a towel, but I gotta go get cigarettes, and I'll be back later.
Where do you think the weirdest place someone's listened to this show at?
Oh, that's a really good question. I hope while banging. Maybe not masturbating, because that's weirder.
Yeah,
but
don't. Well, unless you're a woman, then you can masturbate to this show.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But I ain't fine with some dude waxing his carrot. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird to me.
It's right when the rating song ends. Baby, yeah!
Now look, you can flick your bean, all right? You can do wax on, wax off. You can flick it. We'll do whatever you got to do. Okay? That's fine with me.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, do whatever you got to do. If Ozark and I get you there, have fun. Go nuts, you know.
With those sounds.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that's masturbating to you right now?
You know, God's watching. He's here.
I know, so make sure you're under the covers. And with that, we're going to leave now.
All right. The limo's here.